This is Hank for the Wallflower Bee Farm. You can see this is our video hive, 24/7 hive that you can watch at our YouTube channel, Treatment-Free Beekeeping Canada. Now what I'm doing today is going in and having another look, because last time I looked there was absolutely zero brood, and I was concerned that there was something wrong with the queen. So I'm going in today to see if there is brood, if there's possibly eggs and larvae. I'm going to do a split, a late season split. So I'm, again, speaking because it was windy and it was a difficult audio. So I do use quite a bit. Here I am trying to get rid of some ants. Not that that makes a big deal of difference, but easier to handle. I'm going to go in and have a look. And this is a Russian queen, was installed in the spring. And so this is really fascinating for me because the Russian queens apparently lay eggs based on upcoming needs in the surrounding area as far as foraging. And we're about probably 2 weeks away from goldenrod. We've got about 30 acres of incredible goldenrod here. And as I look in here, you can see not a huge population of bees, but a significant number of bees on the to my right, to your left, watching this last two frames. There's quite a few bees. Now, I take the second from the end and pop it open and have a look at what we see. There's brood on that side, which is interesting because it's close to some honey, but look at that. So given that there's 4,000, some 500 or so, I guess, cells on a side, we're looking at something like, I think it's 9,000 roughly bees, 9,500 on if both sides are filled. So let's assume right there we've got about 7,500 babies about to be born. There's also eggs on the other side. Now look at this one, completely packed. They don't have much to do. Look at it, completely packed, with the exception of some that I think have been taken out due to varroa, but I'm not sure. So there's two frames. Now I'm opening up a third because really, you know, there really is no real egg or larvae. It's mainly brood. It's like she laid and stopped, which makes sense given, you know, this is an 8-framer. Again, look at the brood. There's some that had laid, have hatched there, and she'd done some laying, but really hard to see much going on other than the brood, the cap brood there on both sides. Yep, so I put that back. Roughly 25,000 bees about to hatch in the next little while in an 8-frame box. Went through it, could not find any queen cells. There were some burr comb that sort of looked a little like it, but there were no cells. I checked. So here's the deal. The bees kind of stopped. The queen stopped. She had to leave some space for food and pollen. Even there, look, she put in some, just a small section there, she put in some. And so it's like there isn't very much room here because they have to have food. Excuse me. They have to have nectar, and there you can see some pollen. And that outside frame they're just starting to put together. But it's because there's not a lot of bees. And she just stopped for a while, and that was my concern when I first went in, that there weren't a lot. Now you might argue, well, did they swarm? Well, there were no swarm cells anywhere, so I don't think so. And that's pollen and nectar there. So this is a really bizarre situation for me, because normally you wouldn't see this with bees. It looks like she just stopped. That's it. Now I'm opening up, taking out this frame, and you can see they're just starting to put in the comb. And that's just, there you go, some there. And now I'm going to open up, take out this one. You'll see all the bees on this frame. I didn't take a lot of time to look at it, but just loaded with bees. And I think that the queen may have, in fact, been on that frame. But there was also a lot of pollen and nectar. So I think they're just looking for places to put things. So rather than split any kind of way, I was just going to take one frame and continue with the, the 2-frame nuke idea, but I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is put it all back together and add a box, because they need a box. They need some room. When all these bees start hatching, which they're doing now, there's going to be no space. And eventually they'll have to make some swarm cells, and they'll do a late season swarm, which usually doesn't work out real well. So I'm going to put a box on top, 8-frame box. It has some food in it. I have some honey from last year, so they can really get started quickly. And that's what I found out today when I looked at the box. Now, a couple weeks ago, there was hardly anything in this box as far as brood and eggs, because I opened it up to split it, and in fact, there was nothing to do with it, just as is today for a different reason. So that's a great outcome. All I do is put it back together, pop a 8-frame box on top, cover it up, and that's it for this look. And I won't open up this one again till probably, thinking October. This is Hank for Treatment Free Beekeeping at the Wildflower Bee Farm. You have an amazing day.